Hey everyone, my name is Shane and I'm with Your Leadflow System, and today I want to talk about how multiple hat wearing entrepreneur can sync your calendar together in one place and use GoHighLevel as your central location for booking all of your connectivity and discussions and client calls GoHighLevel. It takes just a minute to get everything set up, and so that when you're in GoHighLevel, you're going to want to make sure that all of your tech support or all of your conversations and chat are going to a specific product calendar. But to get there, it's a little bit of a maze. And when I was setting this up, it took me a couple days to figure this out, and I figured I would just do a quick tutorial. Without further ado, here's my recommendation. GoHighLevel best interfaces with Google Calendar, in my opinion. It also will, they're beta testing Calendly. They'll also do Microsoft, but only one user per account can have one Microsoft calendar. If you're, let's say, a med device sales company and your entire team is on Microsoft and you wanted to switch some systems over into GoHighLevel, it might be challenging to do that because you're only going to be able to have one person with the Microsoft account. With that in mind, I would recommend a free Google Calendar, and you can set that up if you don't have one pretty easily just by going to Google and Calendar. And as you can see here, my calendar for Google has many things attached to it. I also am an iPhone user, and I say iCal just because it's quick and easy, and if I'm at a networking event, sometimes it's just easier to put it there. So what we're going to first do for step one, if you do have an iCalendar, I want to get it sunk to your Google Calendar. And we're going to just one-way sync talk right now, meaning that your Google Calendar as a relay station is coming in. Now you can two-way sync it. That's another step. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to just one-way sync. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to iCloud.com. You're going to find your calendar. Then you are going over here. If you have multiple iCalendars, you're going to do the process for as many calendars as you want. But for me, I'm just going to do one. Excuse me. And so you're going to click on this. You're going to need to make sure that this public calendar is toggled on. And then down below it, you're going to see a link that you can copy right here. And so I'm going to do that really quick. That's copied, and now I'm going to head back to my Google Calendar. So under other calendars, you're going to see this plus, and you're going to add from URL. You're going to go in here and you're going to paste that link that you just did here. You're going to make that publicly accessible. So you're going to add that. What you'll find is that it's now going to come down here and be added to all of these calendars. That's step one. Step two is going to be taking your Google Calendar and connecting it to your account. Now, again, if you're in GoHighLevel and you're a solopreneur and you don't have any staff, this will be pretty easy. But remember, for multiple staff users or multiple users for an account, each person's going to want to go through this process. Type. Now, we are in GoHighLevel, and I have just jumped into a sub account here, and I want to point out a few things. In your sub account, if you go to settings, previously you would have connected your Google Calendar under integrations, but here under settings, you want to make sure that you have your profile set up, and you're going to go under my staff, and you're going to make sure that you add a user. So let's just say that you're a solopreneur and you have got many businesses and you've got a sub account. You want to make sure that you are a user for that. Conversely, if you are a business with multiple users, each user is going to have their own calendar settings. And so it's really important that you make sure we have those all set up per person as well as overall for what your hours are of your business. With that in mind, I'm going to pop into my profile. And so my profile will be reflective of whoever is signed in. And over here, you're going to have where you can start syncing up both your email and then scrolling down your calendars. So you'll see calendars and video conferencing. If I hit add new, this is where I could connect my Google Calendar, my one Outlook calendar. Remember, I told you in the beginning, you can really only do one Outlook per sub-account. So that's something to think about. Your iCalendar or your Calendly. Now it says Calendly is in beta, and it has said that for some time. I mentioned in the beginning, I'd really recommend just having one central relay with Google Calendar. In this case, I'm using this as my primary calendar. I'm going to just go ahead and connect it through Lead Connector here. And it connected, as you can see here. Also, this toggle, if you're a Zoom, if your preference is Zoom, you can definitely get rid of Google Meet. You can toss that out or just add new and connect to Zoom. If you're a Teams person, that's where you would do it also. And the way we're doing this is having one central relay calendar be your main calendar. You'll scroll down, you're going to see your user availability. And so this is different than, let's say, a specific calendar availabilities. If I'm a realtor and I know that I'm out viewing properties 3 days a week from 1 to 5 p.m., then I would make sure that my user availability for meetings and whatnot would reflect that. Right now, you can see that it's just set up on a Monday through Friday. You can customize this all the way through. And then you're going to want your meeting location. If you connect to Zoom, you want to connect there. I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this video, but that's probably my preference. And then you've got yourself as a user basically all set up. Now, that is all in settings. Just to make life a little more confusing, if you get out of settings and you come back to your main sub account, on the side, you're also going to see calendars. Now, this calendars tab gives you, if I had multiple appointments booked, they would be here. And then you see up here the little gear shift icon. And this is where you're going to get more specific about what calendars. So I have a booking call for just a 15-minute consult calendar, but then you have an hour call for coaching or consulting or whatever. This is where you would set that part up. And you would just click new calendar, and there's some choices here. Depending on how your team's set up, you might want to think about round robin, personal booking. This works here. This could just be the meet chain. And again, this can replace a Calendly link. It's available. Advanced settings. Okay. And then let's see here. Again, I put my user availability, but then this specific type of calendar, I'm only available 2 days a week. So you would want to, again, make sure you selected that. Also, you can, if you're trying to plug somebody in, you can go ahead and come in here and do that. And then forms of payment, I skipped over for now, but forms and payment. This is the form that will go out after. And then if you wanted to accept payments, you would do it here. And this is a little bit of additional options. You can set these on for notifications when somebody's rescheduled. Actually, you can know that. Might want to toggle that on. Reminder, yes, please. And you can choose your email or an app. I don't think it gives you a text, but we set that up separate anyway. You can set up how, if you don't want somebody to reschedule within one day and want them there to be able to cancel, you can set this up again. And this is just per event. Certain things you don't care if somebody cancels 5 minutes before, but other things you do, depending on the prep for the call. And there's also some availability things that you might want to peek at. This little thing is cool. It says, look busy. Maybe you're new and you want to make sure that you look really busy. You could say, hide those slots by 25% recurring meeting. This is not, I'm not going to actually set that up, but you could. Here's the interval for your meetings, your scheduling notice. Like I want 1 day advance notice, and I'm going to say I will give them 7 days forward. I'm only going to let them book once per day and once per slot. And a pre-buffer time, I would prefer 10 minutes, and a post-buffer time, 10 minutes. Those are just some ideas for settings. And this is basically going to allow you to, once this is all done, we're going to hit save. And once this is done, you should be able to troubleshoot too. But if you want to share this calendar, you're going to just come over here. You can get a one-time link if you want to make sure it doesn't get, I don't know, bombarded, scheduling link, a permanent link, and also if you want to embed this particular calendar in a landing page, you can get all of those things right here. So in summary, GoHighLevel works best using Google Calendar as your main relay station just because it's the most flexible. You can use Calendly, and you can also, of course, flexibly one-way or two-way sync any of those things into the Google Calendar. Once you log into GoHighLevel, you're going to want to make sure that each user has their own calendar settings in their profile set up for their own personal availability. On top of that, once you get out of settings, when you're in the calendars tab over here, you're going to be able to see both users and calendars. And since right now I only have one calendar, it's just displaying Meet with Shane. You're going to be able to see it there. You can also see an appointment list view here if you had it any scheduled. I don't right now on this particular demo. And then in connections, that is where you are going to want to make sure that you cross-check everything for, X that out, for your calendar itself for the service specific, and also making sure that your preferences are set up if you have Zoom or Teams or Google Meet, your availability overall for that particular calendar. And then lastly, on connections, just making sure you have linked your calendar, you have any conflict calendars. This would be an area also where I would say you could, if you wanted to grab any of these other calendars that you think you might want to make sure don't conflict, and hide event details so that it just shows as blocked. And two-way sync versus one-way sync. Let me just come back here. If you have a linked calendar, this is where you're going to put everything to. Which third-party calendar you want to add new events to. This is your home base, right? I need to make sure that's correct. Third-party calendar here, saved. And then this way, when you book something, it goes to Google Calendar. And then it should be then red space, or that appointment slot disappears for the future person who might book. Because we want to obviously avoid any double booking. I think that should cover it. It is a lot of calendar talk. I know it's a little bit of a headache. In terms of how this shows up in your workflows and automations, I'm going to do another video in just a moment and show you how you pick how to get this set up if you have more than one user, or if you need to round robin, or if you have more than one service with more than one calendar inside of GoHighLevel. That's it for now. I'm Shane with Your Leadflow System, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ping me, or if you want to just trial GoHighLevel and see if it's for you, check out my affiliate link below. Thanks.